Good morning. Day number 2 of the Kentucky trip. I'm headed to Keeneland today for the races, and I'm really looking forward to that. I ended up staying at Motel 6 last night here about 30 minutes south of Lexington. I was gonna sleep at a highway rest area and then just take a shower at the truck stop if I needed to, but I was like, there's no rest areas between Corbin and back to Lexington where Keeneland is. There's no highway rest areas to sleep at. And I'm like, all right, well, I could have slept at, Pilot Travel Center, Love's Travel Stop, the truck stops that I take showers at when I'm traveling. And there wasn't any of those where I was either. So I'm like, oh, screw it. I'll just stay at a hotel. It was cheap. It was like $60-something. But I am off in search of food and then making my way to Lexington. And don't let the sun fool you. It is still freezing. It's 43 degrees right now, according to the car. I'm just listening to the Horse Racing Radio Network podcasts to get ready for the day. All right, guys, look where I ate again. It's my third time eating at KFC this trip. But hey, I'm in Kentucky. I was actually kind of just running short on time, so I needed something quick, and KFC was right here. I'm in Lexington, a few minutes from Keeneland, and had another good meal, and I'm ready for race day. Horse racing's big in Kentucky. There's a whole line of cars backed up getting to the track. I'm about a mile from the track. It is actually sold out today for the tickets. That was definitely a fun time. I'll give you guys my full thoughts when I get back in the car. I didn't vlog that much because number one, it was super crowded. Number two, most of my time was taken up going to the betting window, going back to the track, going to the ring to see the horses walk around before the race, which is what I typically do. It's just so crowded, everything took longer. Now I'm trying to find the car. Almost everybody's left. This was all filled with cars earlier, so it's a little bit easier. I stayed a little bit longer than most people because there was a race from Keenland Park in Arkansas that I wanted to watch for simulcasting that was about 20 minutes after everything here ended. So I did that, then I went and got a shirt from the souvenir stand. So pretty much everybody left, so that makes it really easy to find the car. It's just a long walk. This is what it looks like outside Keenland Park, and this is what Kentucky is known for, just blue grass rolling hills. Took about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes of walking around, but I found the car. That's just how big this place is. It's just so big. And I don't think I showed you guys what I got for a rental this time. This is from Thrifty, because a rental car is a rental car is a rental car. I take the lowest price, and this time it happened to be mid-size SUV from Thrifty. It's Chevy Trailblazer, I think. I mean, I'm a Ford guy. Not a bad car, though. Only had 77 miles on it when I picked it up yesterday. That's one of the good things about taking your time leaving an event, is that you take your time and don't rush out, because then you're just rushing out to sit in traffic. There's nobody here and I can drive right out at my leisure. Feels good to sit down. I was on my feet for about 7 hours because I stand up to watch the race. I stand up to make bets. They had benches. There were some places to sit down in there. I just didn't. I usually don't at the horse track. So thoughts about Keeneland. Number one, everybody's dressed up fancy. It was a suit and tie crowd. I'd say 75% of the people were pretty fancy. Now, granted, I'm a shorts and t-shirt kind of guy. I mean, jeans and t-shirt up here where it's cold. But I didn't feel out of place. Like, nobody looked at me weird or anything. I was fine. I'd say about 10% of the crowd was dressed like me. Just, regular casual. They don't have a formal dress code here. It's kind of a generational thing. Horse racing has been around so long. And, like, you go back to, say, the 1950s, and a suit and tie was just considered men's clothing. So there is a lot of old-timers around it. And then there's a lot of people, and this was the case today. There's a lot of people who go to horse tracks, some more than others, that don't really care about the sport and don't know much about it, that are just there for, like, the social atmosphere and to wear, a fancy suit and stuff like that. There was a lot of that here at Keeneland. I mean, a lot. I heard comments such as, like, oh, we're here, so we might as well make a bet. And, oh, how does this work? And a lot of stuff like that. Like, people who know very little about horse racing made up a large percentage of the crowd. I mean, I'm not saying that's bad. But, at Gulfstream Park in Florida, it doesn't really seem to be the case. Not nearly that much. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. And here's my number one complaint about Keeneland. Like, overall, I had a great day. It was a great experience. Yes, I would go back. But here's my really only complaint. No simulcasting. They didn't have a simulcast center. They didn't have big TVs or big screens anywhere. They had a few regular sized TVs set up here and there throughout the concourse, but that was it. Now, you could still bet on any track you wanted. They had the betting kiosks. You could pick any track in the window, so you could make the bets for any track. But the places to watch the races at the other tracks were very limited. Not just that, Keeneland shuts down as soon as the last race here finishes. They start rolling up the sidewalks. Like, I wanted to watch this race at Keenland Park in Arkansas today. Torpedo Anna was running. Horse racing fans, you'll know who that is. Really good racehorse that always wins. And yes, I did win money on Torpedo Anna today. Not very much, but it was something. Odds was like heavy favorite. Anyway, I wanted to watch this race. It started about 25 minutes after the last race ended here at Keeneland. And I'm like, I hope I can find a place to watch it. And I'm walking around, and I grabbed a t-shirt at the gift shop on my way out. And I'm like, I'm just going to have to open the app on my phone and just watch it on there. Because, there's no simulcast center here. Most places have simulcasting, or an area or a room. I did manage to find one regular-sized TV in the concourse. They had Keenland Park on. They didn't have all the tracks. They just had Keenland, which is the one I wanted to watch. And there was no exaggeration. There were 10 people watching it. And all 10 of us were talking about horse racing. That was the real diehards for the sport. And we were talking about, like, other tracks we'd been to and stuff. And so those were the diehards. Like, in a perfect world, everybody there would be like that and, like, really into the sport. But I get it. That's not reality. Like, you go to a football game or a baseball game, not everybody's going to be a diehard for the sport either. Some people are just going to go for something to do or whatnot. I get that. But that's just my 2 cents. Like, it's not really, doesn't really seem to be that way at Gulfstream. Gulfstream's open 7 days of the week for simulcasting. And if you guys can't tell, Gulfstream Park's my favorite track, and it's in my home state of Florida. But overall, I had a very good day. Yes, I would come back to Keeneland. One more thing I wanted to mention about Keeneland. They charge $10 for admission. I mean, more if you want a reserved seat up high, but I just did general admission because that's what I usually do. I like to be close down front on the rail. They charge $10 for general admission, which is definitely on the high side. Like, Tampa Bay Downs is like $3 or $4. Gulfstream is free. I'd say the majority of tracks are either free or just a couple dollars. So $10 just to get in was a little bit steep. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's, it is what it is. I'd pay more than that to get in. I love coming to the racetracks. And it was actually sold out. I only decided to come to this a couple weeks ago. And it was already sold out when I decided to come to this event today. So I got a ticket on StubHub for $30, so it is what it is. I was actually happy to pay $30 to come here today. I wouldn't have been able to get a ticket if I hadn't gone on the secondary market. Alright, so you guys just heard me complaining and going on and on about how Keenland has no simulcasting. I was reading into that, and I'm like, this is the horse racing capital of the world. There's got to be something. And this is it. It's called Red Mile. This is still in Lexington. This is just closer to downtown. This is 10-15 minutes from Keenland. And it's a harness racing track. The barns are over here. They're not running this time of year. It looks like it's July through September. I was just reading on the website. But there's some type of casino in here, and they definitely have simulcasting. Now, Kentucky is not a full casino gambling state. It's not legal here. But there's all kinds of states where there's like, kind of, they allow some stuff, but not others. Like in Florida, like we have those arcade type places that are not a full casino, but like kind of have some slot machines. And it's complicated, but they do have slot machines here, but I doubt they're going to have any I want to play, because places like this that aren't a full actual casino usually don't have penny slots, which are my favorite. But I'm going to go in and check it out and see what it's like. Red Mile was alright. It's actually pretty decent-sized slot room. A lot of slot machines in there, but as expected, nothing I wanted to play. The simulcasting center was upstairs, and that was disappointing, because not only you go from a crowded, lively casino with hundreds of people in it on the first floor, and then the simulcasting center was upstairs on the second floor. But there was like nobody there. It was like 5-6 people. That was it. And for some reason, they were only showing harness racing. And I wanted, both. I wanted thoroughbred racing as well. They should have everything. And it was only harness for some reason. And they had betting kiosks, the same as you'd get at any track. But some of them were labeled harness, and some of them were labeled thoroughbred. Everywhere else, you can bet anything from any machine. And the ones that said thoroughbred were shut off. Only the harness racing ones were in use, which was odd. So I only spent a few minutes in there, walked around, saw everything. Now I'm going to find something to eat. Then I'll probably go back up towards the Cincinnati area and go to one of the casinos in southern Indiana. Because my flight's at 5 a.m. I'm returning this car at 3 a.m. because I always do 2 hours before a flight. That's just what I do. I'm just going to stay out all night, because there's no sense going to sleep at all when I have to get up at 3 a.m. Because then I'd have to get up at 2 a.m., gas up the car, drive the rest of the way back to the airport from the rest area. And I'm just going to stay out all night. So I'm going to go get some food, then we'll head to the casinos. Because in Indiana and Ohio, they have actual casinos. I think I'm going to go to the Indiana ones. Hollywood Casino's not that far from the Cincinnati airport. It's right in that tri-state area, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky. I'm driving around exploring Lexington. I wanted to drive through downtown, but I gotta show you guys how weird the roads are here. I've never seen anything like this. I've driven in 43 states. There is no center yellow line divider. Normally you'd have a yellow line in the center and then white lines on each side of the road. There's 4 lanes, 2 in each direction, and then a turning lane in the middle, which appears to be for both sides. But everything is these dashed yellow lines on both sides of the road. There's nothing to differentiate anything. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. And it definitely doesn't feel the least bit safe. Like, this is totally weird. It's just downright stupid, honestly. Like, I'm in the turning lane. I know that because there's a green arrow for this lane. And there's other cars with turn signals on, but what the heck is that for? Look at that lane right to the left of me. It just makes no sense. Alright, I looped back around because I ended up going the wrong way. I wanted to go towards downtown. This is just a guess. If you know for sure, leave a comment. But that is the Kentucky Wildcat football stadium right there. I'm thinking that might be, because you see these things up here that are red and green to show you which way to go. This is just a guess, but I think that might be for when they get, thousands of people in here for the football games. This is the main way to get in and out of the area with the stadium. So they might do, before the game, 4 lanes going in, and after, 4 lanes going out. It's a total guess, but that's the only explanation I could really think of. But even if that is what they're doing, there is no excuse to have roads that are this unsafe. Like, this is just ridiculous. No shuttle bus. Can just walk right inside the airport. That's how I like it. I thought I was going to be on the very first flight out, but the flight to Tampa on Frontier beats it by like 10 minutes.